Favorite gory book? My mind just starts breaking. I love the compilations. What frustrated me is what you lose in the tiny books is just that sense of opening the page and getting one image. One image here and the text over. One image here and the text over. And you need to turn the page, and there is always that sense of continuing surprise and curiosity that pulls you through. Edward Gorey's art is Edwardian and yet somehow timeless, while always being not of this time. So Gorey would create art that felt like it had been drawn 100 years ago, with the sensibility of now, and with people from now. There was something balletic about it, something ineluctably jazz age. And that may be the first time I've ever said the words jazz age aloud, but there is something jazz age about Gorey's work. There is an embrace and love of the monstrous. There was once an English writer named Harry Graham who wrote what were called ruthless rhymes. And there was one about somebody who was asked the quickest way to Brompton Cemetery, and is promptly pushed beneath the wheels of a bus. And the last line asks his son Gus what the quickest way is to Brompton Cemetery, and he's pushed beneath the wheels of a bus. And the last two lines are, whatever you say about my son, he does enjoy his bit of fun. That's maybe the end of our interview, but we'll see.
Yeah, I have one more question.
Hi, everybody. We got one question. It's okay. We got one question to go. I love you. Yes, little boy. Hi.
Hi.
Chris is. No, we've got what? We're on our last question.
Okay. I'll just take him outside then. Like
Just
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just hold him outside.
Thank you.
Ash, go play on the trampoline.
Do you want to wrap up that thought, or did you wrap it?
Let's wait until they're out in the garden and the bang stops. Then I'll just start another one.
They could just be phrases.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is something you come in with the scissors and you drop them in and you layer them. For me, Gorey-esque, it feels like you have a wise and mordant observer from a distant time who is sitting in a corner somewhere, drawing impossible things happening to unfortunate people, and then describing it to you as gnomically, economically, and mysteriously as possible. And so when even the effort of describing Gorey means you are going to start rummaging into those places in your vocabulary that you don't normally get to go, because you are going to have to find words that have not really been in common use for 70 years to start pointing at him. Gorey is absolutely unique. His influence is everywhere. Gorey's influence is obvious on me, on Tim Burton, on Lemony Snicket. I think Gorey's influence now is a second and third generation in. People like Henry Selick as well, who actually made the film of Coraline, and who made The Nightmare Before Christmas. Again, Gorey influenced people. But I wonder, with Gorey, how many people know who made the illustrations they're familiar with. And I also wonder to what extent he's being carried off by time as his books fall out of favor again. And even when I found his books, buying the actual small, gory books, I found a tiny bookshop in San Francisco that had lots of them. And every time I went to San Francisco, I would buy a few more and bring them back. And then I'd wind up giving them to people because I would encounter people and go, you need this more than I do. And these books would just go as gifts from me to people. And I was never sure if they liked them or not, but they always made the right noises. And you always knew that if somebody liked gory, they were the right kind of person. You knew you had the basis for a potential friendship here, just as you knew that if gory meant nothing to somebody, you probably weren't actually going to hit it off.
Do you think he's going to be known in history, the history books, as a great artist?
No, I don't think that Gory is ever going to be in the history books as a great artist, because I don't think that's what he was. I think great artists are something else. I think what Gory was a work of art. And I think he may well go down in the history books as a glorious and unique work of art. I wish Gory had been more popular. I wish you could talk to people about him and everybody would recognize him. I wish that his style, his uniqueness, the vision that he had was understood and delighted in by everybody. But I'm also accepting of the fact that it isn't. And I think we're done. Hi, Sausage! Hello, Ash. Did you have a good time with Mama? Ash, are we...
Say cheese.
Cheese!
Say cheese.
Cheese!